I was singing an AI-generated song about an assassination while I was cooking dinner for my girlfriend. It's when I realized we are cooked. A couple minutes before I realized the steak was cooked, actually, it was well done, unfortunately. The song was well done. The steak was medium rare, decent sear, pretty good, but not my best. I think someone literally typed in Charlie Kirk memorial song in the theme of Imagine Dragons' Arcane theme song into an AI chat prompt, and it slaps. It's a real earworm. Or is it an ear Trojan horse that's gonna make us all reconsider the Civil Rights Act? Low-Kirkiantly, I don't know. Over the years, I've seen a lot of things turn into an alt-right pipeline. Some normal stuff, like health and wellness turning into race realism. Shout out to Dr. Mike. I guess if you have the phrenology of Megamind, you might think that skull size determines outcomes. I don't know. And I've seen stranger things, like QAnon sending every almond mom into psychosis, and whatever clown world is. This is different because the potential pipeline to the right is coming from the left. The depersonalization and derealization of a political assassination. Bars with Brainrot. I'm going to discuss whether it is a pipeline, whether we're all going crazy, and then make a little old-fashioned pros and cons list.
Charlie Kirky. I'd spot the perky.
I'm not entirely sure the origins of clowning on Charlie Kirk, but the first time I encountered it was on the Toilet Paper USA subreddit around 2019. The name is derivative of Turning Point USA, so you might think it was mainly about Charlie Kirk, but it was kind of just there to clown on every right-wing extremist type of fellow. It was kind of like a snark subreddit for all those YouTube guys. During that time, it was a lot of small-faced Charlie memes and Twitter gotcha replies, and not a whole lot else. I think I can get away with saying that it was politically neutral. You know, it was aimed at a certain part of the political spectrum, but everyone was kind of getting together to clown on these guys. They were so far out of the bounds of American politics at the time that anyone could say, oh, you think women shouldn't have the right to vote? What are you, stupid? And get together and make memes about it. So yeah, I'd say politically neutral, just like North Korea being bad is politically neutral. That's politically neutral. Right? Making jokes about Kim Jong-un is a long-time bipartisan activity. It's gotta be politically neutral. Time passed. The Overton window shifted to the right. Trump got elected again. And this time they gave Charlie a seat at the table. That's when he went from being this fringe bozo outside the realm of normal American politics to a legitimate figure inside of US politics. He did soften some of his views to fit in, or at least he pretended to secure the bag, like with Jeffrey Epstein. Now that's the version of Charlie that's being sold to people these days. But it's strange, because that version of him is ephemeral. It barely ever existed in the first place. Back in 2019, I thought it was pretty harmless to clown on this guy and make jokes about these right-wingers. These days I realize that it might have been harmful though. In FD Signifier's recent video, he talks about how the goal isn't to win a debate for them. It isn't to look like they know what they're talking about. It's for their ideas just to escape containment. You should check out his channel. He really knows what he's talking about. It's intoxicating for all of your problems to be explained away by minorities and sinners. You don't have to actually take the accountability. You just pass the buck. That feels great. And that sort of thinking spreads like wildfire, regardless of what your intentions are. That's what happened. I might have been part of the problem. Current version of this is a whole new beast. I don't know if these rules still apply.
Charlie Kirky. I'd spot the perky.
The Charlie Kirk young people are familiar with is not fringe, is not considered an extremist. He's part of the establishment. So I don't think you'd be wrong to say that this wave of brain rot was anti-establishment, but I do think it goes deeper than that. What if the establishment was a joke? What if it wasn't to be taken seriously at all? And what if opposition made the establishment grow stronger by having an excuse to bring down force? Well, that's why I think it's anti-simulacra and anti-simulation. If you don't know what that means, bear with me, I'm gonna try to explain it to you. In 1981, French philosopher Jean Baudrillard came out with a book, Simulacra and Simulation. You may know it from the Matrix movies. It was a big inspiration for that. The Truman Show. We wouldn't even have the term red pill to describe manosphere stuff if it wasn't for this work. It resonated with a lot of people. And now that we live our lives 50% online, it rings even more true. You see, the point of this book was to argue that reality was being replaced by signs and symbols representing something new called hyperreality. And everything that we experienced eventually was all going to be through this lens of hyperreality instead of what actually happened. That's the simulation. Jean Baudrillard didn't live long enough to see YouTube shorts and TikToks, but Low Kirk, I think he would have liked them. He might be surprised to see the year 2025, the biggest trend was an AI-generated meme of a dead political commentator. Or maybe he wouldn't be surprised, because he kind of predicted that, right? For the visual learners, I've got a segment for you next.
Charlie Kirky. I'd spot the perky.
This is obviously not sponsored, just look at me. So, you guys are my beautiful, beautiful sponsors today. As my sponsors, you are my boss. If you're watching this right now, you are my supervisor. Please give me direction. Comment below. Tell me how I can better serve you, my boss. Subscribe to become my full-time boss and to tell me what to do at any time. And if, by chance, you are an ad partner wanting, for some unexplainable reason, to partner with me, hit me up. For real, I'll do anything if you pay me to do it.
Charlie Kirky. I'd spot the perky.
Here's my visual helper. I'm not loving where I am right now, but I'm stuck between two Charlies. It is what it is. I didn't know where to put myself on here. And this shows how Charlie Kirk's image has gradually gone from real to hyper real. Okay? Starting with IRL, human being Charlie. This is the 100% authentic human being version of Charlie. He was born from his mother, okay? Raised as a child. This is as real as it gets right here. As real as you or me. Well, as real as you anyway, since I'm on the internet right now, which means I'm more like this one, actually. Right. The online persona of Charlie. This is probably closely correlated to the real life version of him, but just separated from context of his life and the general nuance of being human. We all have this version of ourselves these days. And if you're on social media, people are perceiving you, but they don't know you. Ew. This next one is where we start to see this real life person completely sever from the symbol used to represent them. This is small-faced Charlie, a satire that is purposefully changing his image to mock his views. What if we could see that that person was not to be taken seriously just by looking at him right there? We got it. His image is being used in opposition of himself. We continue to go further from reality here. We have establishment Charlie, a symbol of a man who gained popularity railing against the establishment, who's now been absorbed by that same establishment. His online persona's takes on Epstein, Israel, democracy, and many other things have changed or been suppressed, but they're still using his image to garner support. It's a little bait and switch, like Indiana Jones. Now, of course, right next to me here, we have Martyr Charlie. This is all of that stuff times 10. They say people heard him because he told the truth. Well, not the truth about that other stuff, the truth, the state-sponsored truth that we told him to say. And that is why they heard him. Mostly just that, nothing else. At this point, if you're seeing these shifts happen in real time, it becomes hard to deny the absurdity of it all. This is where the nihilism creeps in. He was harnessed as a symbol to prop up the establishment, and then harnessed as a symbol by one vile person to take down the establishment. That person was playing by the rules of the game that we learned from this whole shift from reality to hyperreality. Charlie's personhood was destroyed in this process. So when he was taken out, they didn't feel like they were ending someone real's life. They felt like they were destroying a symbol. That's scary. I don't like that. In response to these last two bubbles and the whole process of going from real to hyperreal, we have Kirkified Brainrot Charlie. This is a complete rejection of the simulacra and simulation. It's like when your granddad found your dad smoking cigarettes out by the train tracks and he said, "If you think you like that boy, you're smoking a whole pack tonight." Co-opting Charlie's image once more, but this time to show the absurdity of this transition. It's eventually going to render the symbol useless. Seeing Kirkified Wicked Witch belting out Defying Gravity and then going to a Kirk and Twerk, I can't even take this seriously, Kirk and Twerk EDM dance party is making it really difficult to take this Cybertruck rap and Kirk memorabilia very seriously. It's mutually assured destruction of this whole timeline.
Charlie Kirky. I'd spot the perky.
Coming to you live from Reed's room in the People's Republic of New Jersey, trying to spread 100 years of prosperity from Camden to Hoboken. How is everybody doing? I was just outside, sunning my booty hole. It's snowy. I was cleaning off my car. I'm a little bit wet right now, but it's okay. I'm here with you, and we've got something to do. Go through the pros and cons of Charlie Kirk Brainrot memes. I've been racking my brain over this, trying to come up with the truth. Hello, Kirkweently. I think I've got it. I've got it. I know what's going on now. Finally. And let's start off with a big, juicy, stupid ass pro. It's funny, guys. It's just funny. It's like hilarious. Now, this doesn't seem that important, but this pro kind of like got our president elected. So it might have more weight within American culture than you think. We do a lot of stuff just because it's funny, like tell horrible jokes about people's race and gender and all types of crap. That holds a lot of weight with the American public. So it being funny, that's a bomb drop in a way that only America could. That's a nuclear bomb drop. You understand that. It's a big one. And let's go with some cons. Here's another big one. One that I don't particularly love. Charlie Kirk is an icon now. You can't get away from it. He could die a million deaths, and it will only grow the lore. He's stuck in our zeitgeist now. It's always going to be on the tip of a Republican's tongue trying to talk some shit. Always. He has a wife and children. We're not going to be able to get away from that. Ever. It's a big con. Pros. This one, I like. It breaks the pipeline. You know the alt-right pipeline? You might have heard of it. I might have talked about it like 75 times. Sometimes someone could be headed down that way and something jostles. Something jostles their sled going down the pipeline, Jamaican bobsled team style, gets jostled away, and they end up somewhere else. Hopefully into leftism and not liberalism or a third mysterious worse thing. This one's kind of a double-sided sword because sometimes it might just make them defensive and dig their heels into what they already believe. So I'm going to say breaks the pipeline sometimes. Maybe that one's not as good of a pro as I was originally thinking. Another con that's a hitter, irony poisoning. If you're not familiar with it, it's basically when someone starts saying something ironically so often that they kind of get confused about what they really believe and what they're saying ironically. It's like you're joking with someone saying some slang from 2016, saying, oh, swag, that's so swag, and it's making your little cousin annoyed with you, like, oh, that's so swag, you're so swag, and he's getting cringed out and annoyed, and then next thing you know, you're out with your friends, and you're like, wow, dude, that's swag, and you're like, oh no, did I just say that for real? I was joking about that, but now I'm saying swag seriously in my life. I said swag to my boss. I said swag in an interview. That's what irony poisoning is. Now imagine replacing swag with like, some people are lesser than whites. And that happens. Starts out as a 4chan meme. Starts out as groypers on Twitter. LOLing. But then they kind of forget whether or not it's a joke and whether or not they actually believe it. And you know, there's plenty of this on the left too because the killer was irony poisoned. Posting all that random groyper meme stuff. Did he really believe that? Was it a joke? Was it all a joke? Was this whole thing a joke? Or was that his true beliefs? And if it was a joke, why did he take such an extreme action? That's why irony poisoning sucks. Another pro. Accidentally teaching kids media literacy. It is like trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. You have no choice but to acknowledge the absolute absurdity of a Kirk and Twerk EDM dance party coming from Charlie Kirk, the political commentator. It is showing people that the shit you see online is not real. It is showing you that there's a disconnect between real life and online life. It is forcing you to turn a critical eye towards what we believe is the truth. That's invaluable. That's really good. That's a strong pro. That's stronger than the last pro. I like that a lot. Another con. Well, let's just go with an easy one off the top. I have to see his face all the time. I don't like doing that. He's ugly. He's funny looking. I don't like him. I don't like what he stands for. I don't like what he looks like. I am tired of seeing him. Yeah, it's funny. But is the juice worth the squeeze? Constantly interact with this guy? I was just watching Sports Center after the Bears game. Stephen A. Smith's going to say, Charlie Kirk caught 8 catches tonight.
We saw Charlie Kirk catch 8 receptions for 144 yards.
Yeah.
We saw
Christian Kirk.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Oh my God, Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
We saw.
I can't watch Sports Center without Charlie Kirk. I can't watch Sports Center without seeing this man, without hearing his name spoken. I'm not loving it. I'm seriously not loving it. We need a pro immediately because it's upsetting me. This is an interesting one, I think. Symbolic disarmament. This is when you take a symbol that means one thing and you make it mean something else, particularly a negative symbol, and give it a new positive meaning. This is like when people reclaim a slur and start using it in a new way for their own people's sake. This is when Kanye took the Confederate flag, turned it into merch. But remember that irony poisoning thing? He got a little bit of that. He got a little bit of that irony poisoning, didn't he? Another con. Let's shout out to FD Signifier again. His ideas are escaping containment. You ever see 28 Days Later? You know that frickin' monkey? Yeah, that's him. That's him. And we're gonna have to put America on lockdown, okay? These things get loose and they spread. People love to find an easy target to blame all of their problems on. It ain't that simple. That's the unfortunate truth. But if you give a simple explanation to people, they love it. They're addicted to it. That monkey from 28 Days Later, he's fucking shit up. He's going crazy. We have to lock this shit down, okay? And the Brainrot memes are not locking this shit down. It's like infecting everybody to try to make herd immunity. Another pro. Makes extremism look lame instead of cool and forbidden. This one's kind of long, huh? Spell check, boys. Spell check. A big draw towards this white supremacy bullcrap is like Ubermensch. That was the German thing. Cool ass Aryan Vikings. Blonde hair, blue-eyed warriors like the stupid January 6th dude. That stuff is secret history, ancient, alien. If you wouldn't imagine, this is where you came from. Your blood is of the blood of giants. I'm not even gonna lie, that sounds sick. Charlie Kirk Brainrot memes? Put some rainbow sprinkles on that instead and say, this is that cool, forbidden legacy you're talking about. It's Charlie Kirk starring in Black Swan as both Mila Kunis and the other chick. It puts glitter on the bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Since fascism is a lot about aesthetics, we've talked about Kanye, who is a lover of the fascist aesthetics. Making their aesthetics shitty is an effective strategy in combating that. Let's see, we got another con. This one's kind of a bummer. Turns politics into slop. It's a bummer, but it is what it is. We're playing their game at this point. It's not about ideas and moving society forward. It's just about fucking brain rot, slop, AI, and bullcrap. It's just nothingness. It's just who's winning, who's funnier, who's dumber, who's going to capture attention the most. It's not about capturing labor. It's about capturing attention. That's what politics is turning into, and this is a big symptom of that. I hate it. It's becoming worthless because if that's what you have to do to win an election, if that's what you have to do to win the minds of the people, what are you going to do once you're elected? Because it's really got nothing to do with that. It sucks. Let's get another pro in here. My list sucks. If you guys notice how my list sucks, but it is what it is. I'm not good at making YouTube videos. I'm not good at making spreadsheets. This isn't even a spreadsheet. This is a to-do list template that I have co-opted. Just like Charlie's image was co-opted to make my pros and cons list. This one is actually backed by science. The right is more likely to change their mind when it comes to stuff like this. There was recently a study about the left and the right's susceptibility to moral arguments. There were 9 moral arguments laid out, and the left, based on the right's moral objectivity, religion, law and order, heritage, protection of how things are, the left does not give a fuck at all about those things. The left does not change their mind or budge whatsoever when presented with the type of arguments that are fueling the right. You see, the right, on the other hand, when they're given more humanistic arguments, human rights, fairness, equality, over time, they do shift. Those sorts of arguments do make it through to them. Very interesting. So if we are just going head to head, over time, we always go left. Always. There will be setbacks. There will be things that regress us, pull us towards fascism, pull us towards techno-feudalism. Over time, progress marches on. It's very interesting. Another terrible con, everyone is implicit in this, is the dehumanization. Spell check, baby. Seeing someone stripped away of their identity and their humanity is disgusting. I'm like a humanist. Everyone is equal. Everyone deserves rights. seeing someone's identity stripped away is terrible. We've seen this happen in other instances, and it's not good. It never has good outcomes. When you're able to slap a label on somebody, strip away their humanity, you're able to do things to them that you could never imagine. That's why this is just it's a big con. If it can be done to Charlie Kirk, it can be done to anybody, including me, including you. The dehumanization of Charlie Kirk is possibly the biggest crime here. That dehumanization is the same thing that allowed Nazis to do what they did. We must resist doing that. We must keep the humanity within people. We must give people their inalienable human rights. It's difficult to deal. Let's see, do I have anything else? Oh, I've got one more pro. Poisons the well, baby. It harms Charlie Kirk's reputation, his credibility. It harms Donald Trump's reputation and credibility. It harms every YouTube right-wing extremist's reputation and credibility when he is just getting thrown in the wood chipper online. It destroys a lot of the motion they have, turning them into a joke. When you try to make one of their arguments, it looks like you're arguing for Brainrot ballerina Charlie. Let's count this up. What do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cons. I think there's one more con. We're playing the rights game. We were forced to play this game. This guy came out of the woodwork spitting some venom. One stupid-ass actor turned him into a martyr. The cards were laid out. The board was placed on the table. The left's options were watch as he's turned into this larger-than-life figure by the right, enshrined in NFL stadiums by the president on television. The option was let them take that and do what they want, or come to the table and play with the guerrilla tactics that we have available to us. So I have to say that I'm glad that there is a resistance to this movement. There's a resistance from this shift from reality to hyper-reality. It's not the game we chose to play. We're just playing with the hand that we were dealt. We're not playing from a winning position. We're just trying to salvage what we can to make it to the next fight. So I think ultimately it is a con overall to society that this is happening. It's a pro that the left has that grit to continue on. It's a pro that the left is using creative methods to mutually destroy this whole system and start back on a square playing field where it's a lot easier to let the policy, let the backing of labor, let the affordability speak rather than all of this built up propaganda and bullshit. That's what this is all about. It's propaganda, on lie, on misconception, on this, on that. Burning it all down is a pro, but the fact that we have to do it at all is a con. I'm interested to see how it plays out. I wish we could know what Jean Baudrillard thought, but either way, if you're enjoying this video, like, subscribe, come back for the next one. Really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Is it a pipeline? Are you a reactionary? Do you think Joe Rogan is funny? What are your thoughts on French philosophy? Amateur.